Arches kind of stunned us so much with its beauty that we discussed staying there for the whole week, and we did extend our stay there a little bit. But finally comes time for Canyonlands to make its turn.
We're gonna head to Chesler Park and try and hike around there. It is about an hour and a half from our hotel. Lots of obstacles along the way. I ended up overshooting the road, which cost us 15 minutes. We ended up loop back around. We get to the right road, it's closed. So all of a sudden we have to go back to where I had made the U-turn, and all of a sudden we're taking this hour and a half detour. There's another turn. If I went this way, it'll recommend another way that's 10 minutes off.
All right, we'll just head to the area and we'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. Seems like things are conspiring a bit here, but let's get to the trailhead. If we got time to get down there with, I don't know, we'll just have to judge, because it's probably an hour's hike. So it'll just depend on how much time we have to do the hike. If we only get an hour down there, we're probably better off just driving around and finding viewpoints and things. I don't know. We'll just see. And the detour takes us about an hour and a half off course. So at this point, we're discussing, well, can we do Chesler Park now? Well, the area seems pretty. Maybe we can at least get some of it. So we continue on with the drive, and it opens up into the Canyonlands area, and boy, I was like, man, I'm glad we didn't skip Canyonlands, because there's some pretty stuff. Well, we're gonna take a moment to soothe my anxiety and just get a shot, since we were detoured an hour past. We just ran into detours and all kinds of crap, so now it's like, let's get something. And this actually is a very beautiful valley, so it is 100% worthwhile shooting. I'll feel much better after this. And I can't help myself when we're driving through really pretty stuff that he's got to talk, Ford, please just pull over. Let me leave my anxiety and get this shot. And he'll pull over, we'll get some couple shots, and there was some real good stuff along the way. But I mean, we're in a rush to get to Chesler, so a couple shots, move on. So we'll skip doing the little fill-in shots, because you could go down and get little things in the front also, but we got somewhere to be, so let's get a couple of the overall general gist of it and move on.
These make good establishing shots for what we're about to go shoot.
Like, I'll stop and want to get these types of things, but if I'm by myself, I'd end up spending like a half hour here just doing all these things and totally miss the end goal. So I'm glad that we have this balance of like, okay, yeah, we can get a couple shots here, but let's make sure we move on and get to where we need to be.
We were getting really worried that we were actually going to get to Chesler Park too late. And we were going to miss this window, because it is kind of a hike. You're going to have to hike into these valleys, and you're going to be kind of far from the car, and we didn't really want to trap ourselves out there trying to get out there and get what little light was left.
I'm just hoping the hike down is all lit properly, because the research is for the actual park, Chesler Park. But we might not, I don't know if we'll make it all the way down to Chesler just because of the detours. So we're going to shoot what we shoot. I don't know. I'm thinking I might just try to hoof it down. Just try to move as fast as possible. We have about 2 hours, and the area looks pretty enough. So let's just start it. Let's do it. And you get up over the ridgeline, and holy cow! Been shooting 13 years, 30-something locations I've shot. This is going right up on top, because you open up into this valley with this canyon and these piers and spires, and it's just mind-blowing.
We instantly fell in love with the place. It's like you could spend a whole week just in that valley.
Off the cloud cover, we get out here, ate up all our time to hike,
Not sure how much light we're gonna have going down in. Sprinting down the trail, trying to make it as far as I can. And then the light comes out and I end up at this point, and holy cow. I think we might just pause here, and maybe if we can get a sunset segment out of this area right here, it makes all the stress and the hard work just 100%, 1000% worth it. This is amazing.
The valley that I walked into is pretty freaking epic. It's like 360 degrees of beauty and just the most unique rock formations. And we were getting some of that nice evening light, and it actually, you know, detour and all, like, it really worked out for us.
This was one where we're rushing again because the light's really nice and it's limited, but also we have to make it 2 miles of a very difficult hike back, and you got to do it before sunset. Because even with headlamps, it's not a hike that you want to do in the dark. So I've got my cutoff time and I'm scrambling trying to get everything. But sometimes you just got to take that moment and absorb what you're looking at. And in those moments when it's shooting and I'm absorbing it, the silence is deafening. I understand that term now. Even though we didn't get the entire breadth of the area, Chester Park was just so worth it and really kind of had a moment. Splendiferous. It's a little difficult to shoot because, of course, the hike down is more morning. Made it most of the way to Chandler, but there just wasn't enough time to go all the way to Chandler where it was an evening shoot. But there's still like some pretty some insanity.
It's all right. We make it back from Chester Park, super pumped on what we got, and pretty tired too. 3 days of hiking in a row. We were just like, oh man, let's go get some food, let's go back. So we're on our way back. I'm on the road, Ryan's looking to the horizon. He sees these pretty cloud formations. Ryan's like, okay, we gotta stop.
And I'm like so excited, I just jump out before I put my shoes on, and I'm just running there. We start getting the shots. We've got a handful of sunset shots that are not a segment. It's just been bugging me all week that we're just missing those couple shots of the sunset there, and my anxiety is not allowing me to sit still.
I sometimes think about it as like having a puppy back there, because he's looking from window to window. He doesn't care, he just wants that footage now. And rightly so, like that light was going away pretty quickly. Probably the time it took to put some shoes on he would have lost a shot or two just from the light. He just roughed it. He's barefoot running down the road.
It's like, okay, this is it. They're gonna get it. We got beautiful colors, beautiful clouds, and then we got some of that mountain glow where the sunset kind of hits the sides of the rocks.
What? Sunset. Wow. What's left of it? Beautiful. Makes me happy. Alright, I'm done. I got one shot of that and I'm done.
It actually worked out really great because we got kind of these like cool silhouettes of the mountains. They had kind of a glow on them, and because of that, I think that was enough footage to actually complete the sunset segment we were trying to build when we were on that overlook before. So actually, it was great that we stopped, because then now we actually can compile a really awesome Red Rock sunset segment.
There we go. That's the last of it.
I came into Arches and Canyonlands expecting a good shoot, a great shoot. What I got was like just so much more than a great shoot. I mean, it's epic, it's beautiful, I'm happy with the shots I got, but there was a little bit more to it. Anything you do in life, there's choices that you make that can lead you one way or the other. And most of the time, there's not just a right or a wrong choice. There's, I can make this happen or I can make this happen. I lose this or I lose this.
It's never been more apparent than this trip that the idea that we utilize the idea of trade-offs really well. Everything from me wanting to barrel onto the location while Ryan shoots alongside the trail, or stopping alongside the road when we're trying to get somewhere. The sacrifice is always kind of worth it. We always are kind of like trying to balance this idea that, oh, if we do this, we might be losing this. Like, we're always just kind of in between two decisions. And that really became just like the theme for this trip, but also made me realize it's the theme for every trip.
And Arches and Canyonlands like really accentuated this life juxtaposition from the way that the shots look, the way you build the shots, to the way we made decisions itself. Summer has lots more lighting, is a very popular time to go, but there's all those crowds. We go in September, we're gonna have great storms that are gonna give us potential for amazing footage, or is gonna kill our evenings or our mornings, and we might not get anything.
We sacrifice one thing for the other all the time, and it has to do with our decision making that kind of helps us be successful or not. What ended up happening was actually finding the greatest balance on this trip of those two things. Sacrificing just enough to get this while still getting this. When before, maybe it would have been one or the other. It would have been, the scale would have been tipped one way or the other. But I think this time it actually worked really well.
Every point makes a choice on what we need to do, and you know, it really helped me connect with the positive energy of that. Not just like we're missing this or we're missing that, but look at what we got here because of this. This is the part that people don't know, you know, what it actually looks like when we're shooting.
A wild Ryan has been traversing through these parts.
But yeah, that was difficult and amazing and exhausting and beautiful and a touch scary.
We were worried, because it's all red rock all the time, that we would actually get bored of it, and that's not true. That's not true. I want to stay here another week. There's more to shoot here. It's the most cinematic footage we've shot up to this date when it comes to red rock footage. I mean, everywhere you look, it's beauty. And I just think this location's special. I'll come back here as much as humanly possible. We're just getting like a little glimpse of it that we're bringing home. So there's definitely a reason to come back.
And it seemed like Arches especially was really kind of nudging us along on this journey of like, I'm gonna make this work out for you. I'm gonna make this work out for you. The storm's coming in, I'm gonna make sure that the light's amazing when it happens. And you just get rewarded by that, because when you get rewarded by the shot, you set it up and you're like, my God, where are we? And the silence between those shots, I've never heard a silence like this. Whenever you get to a shot and you worked really hard to get that shot, you shoot it, and while the video is going, you take a second to really let it soak in beyond a photographer. You have to do that. You don't want to get yourself jaded and not appreciate where you are. It really made it kind of sink in and feel different, and think about all the choices that you've made through the week, and then about the choices you make in life.
It's nice to be able to get the mountains in the background.
That's right. Nice. It even goes into the shots themselves, you know. I'm gonna stack this blue sky with this red rock with this blue puddle. I'm gonna juxtapose this dry, arid landscape with this tremendous storm behind it, and just reflecting on what it is I'm doing and why I'm doing it and why I enjoy it.
It's sort of just how a lot of things work in life, in shooting, in just friendships, relationships, all things. Like, there is a trade-off, one thing for the other, for the benefit of both, I think. And I think that's a great theme for this trip.